Hey folks, welcome to another episode of Steelers Morning Rush. I'm Alan Saunders. It is Wednesday, September 17th. The Pittsburgh Steelers starting their practice for week 3, their game against the New England Patriots. Today at UPMC Rooney Sports Complex on the south side. I'll be there along with Ed Thompson, gathering information about your black and gold. Today we're going to talk about safeties. I teased this yesterday on the afternoon drive. If you watch that show, good question from dear friend Randy Tobias. Came in over the weekend and said, Alan, I'm kind of old school where I'm used to safeties being free and strong safeties who are used in two-man formations. I know what a free safety does, but what is the difference between a strong safety and a box safety? Additionally, how do those positions differ from a slot cornerback that rushes? Lastly, I've heard it mentioned that Jabrill Peppers can play the slot if need be. Does that mean he's a safety that plays nickel, or referencing to him being able to fill in as a slot cornerback? Lots of good questions here, Randy, as always. Let's talk about safeties. All right, I've got an offense here. Pretty basic 11 personnel looking offense. Now, I'm not going to draw the whole defense. We're just going to talk about the safeties. This is the tight end right here, okay? Now, usually the tight end defines the strength of the formation. Theoretically, you could not have a tight end and you could have a fullback, and that would also make it the strength of the formation. But let's just keep things simple. This is the strong side of the offense, okay? Because there's an extra big body on it, okay? So traditionally in the NFL, teams would have a strong safety and a free safety. The strong safety lines up on the tight end side of the ball. Strong free. That's how those definitions got their names. There are lots of other ways to do this. You can just have a left safety and a right safety. Let's draw some hash marks right here and right here. So now you see that the ball's on the left hash. A lot of college defenses, because in college the hash marks are wider, it makes a bigger difference. They will have a boundary safety, meaning this is the skinny side of the field, and the field safety, this is the big side of the field. Boundary field, strong free, are basically just two ways of saying this safety here is less good at covering than this safety here. This is the strong safety. You're going to put him over the tight end, not over the slot receiver. You're going to put him in less space, not more space. Okay? This is a bigger, more physical player. Slower, usually. Some teams just play left-right. Their two safeties are fairly interchangeable. Tight end could be over here, unbalanced formation. Bring the slot receiver over here. Keep them. They're the same. They're interchangeable. Strong and free have no meaning in some offenses, especially a lot of offenses that call a lot of cover two. It's two big bubbles at the top. Doesn't matter. They're both the same. If you play man-to-man, the distinction matters a lot more. Okay? So what's a box safety? A box safety is not cover two. A box safety brings the strong safety, always the strong safety, down into the box where you have your other 7 defenders. 8 men in the box. That's a box safety, the 8th man in the box, loading up against the run. These are things you hear people say. When that happens, that means the 8th safety is going to the box. Now your free safety is playing center field. This is going to be cover 3, meaning it's zone on the outsides and underneath, or cover 1, meaning it's man on the outside. Cover 3 and cover 1 for the free safety are the same. It's just middle of the field zone. Deep is the deepest man. Middle of the field. This then becomes a box safety. So he will either have a curl flat or a hook zone if it's cover 3, or he'll have man-to-man with the tight end if it's man-to-man. So you have a box safety and a free safety here. You have a strong safety and a free safety here. Or you have a boundary safety and a field safety here. It's just all different ways of saying a lot of the same thing. And that you have one safety who's a bigger, tougher, more physical guy, and one safety who's better in coverage. That being said, those differences are not. It's more like the difference between left tackle and right tackle, right? It's not like the difference between safety and corner. Like a lot of safeties can play both positions. Most good safeties can play both positions. Most good safeties can do all of this. What's the difference between a box safety? Well, we have the formation flipped at the moment. Let's bring our slot receiver back over here. What's the difference between a box safety and a slot corner? Well, the box safety is in the box. Slot corner is technically just outside it, but not always, right? You bring your slot receiver in motion, he's going to follow. Now he's in the box, right? Now you got 9 guys in the box. The box safety is just covering bigger people, right? The box safety is going to get lumped in with your linebackers in coverage, okay? So let's say, this is the Baltimore Ravens. DeShon Elliott has Andrews. Peyton Wilson has Henry. Patrick Queen is going to spy Jackson. Everybody else is rushing, okay? So can a player be like Jalen Ramsey can go cover a tight end. He can also cover a receiver in the slot. The Ravens come out here in this formation, and all of a sudden Zay Flowers is over here and Mark Andrews is over here. Ramsey doesn't have to move. Now you move Peyton Wilson out, but these are not big differences in positions. There are not a lot of guys that can't do both. The one group I would say is these box safeties are fairly unique to the cover 1, cover 3 teams. The teams that run a lot of man and the teams that run a lot of cover 3. They are the ones that want this box safety that can be a really good run defender, a big tackler. Like if you run cover 1, cover 3, your box safety is probably one of your top 2 tacklers in the team. He's going to cover tight ends, fullbacks, running backs out of the backfield, but he's going to be in the box on almost every play. This is DeShon Elliott. This is why Pittsburgh was such a good fit for DeShon Elliott. Can DeShon Elliott do this? Yes. Is he best at that? No. I mean, there are other safeties that are better than him at this stuff. He's a big guy for a safety, right? Juan Thornhill is better back here. If you're playing cover 2, does it matter which one's which? Not like a little bit, but not a lot. But the Steelers don't play that much cover 2. They play cover 1, cover 3, mostly. Quarters, it matters a little bit more because now this safety has to deal with this slot receiver down the field. Okay? In quarters, you have zone, right? So if you have 2 receivers on one side, this safety has to deal with the inside of those 2 receivers. It might not even be the slot receiver. Slot receiver might run it out, and this might be a post. You might have to deal with the outside receiver downfield. So in quarters, it definitely puts an emphasis on coverage on the safeties. When the Steelers run 3 safeties, we need to start over here. When the Steelers run 3 safeties, they usually are running cover 2 with a box safety instead of a nickel corner. So this is probably like the Ravens in 12 personnel, right? So you still have your 2 high safeties, still have your 2 outside corners, and now your box safety is here too. So instead of making a linebacker cover Isaiah Likely man-to-man, if this is 2-man, now you have DeShon Elliott down here in the box. And then your linebackers on it, Mark Andrews. That's safeties. That's pretty much everything I can explain about safeties. If you have more questions about safeties or anything else you want for the whiteboard, leave them in the comments. Try to get to them. Really got a lot of good comments this week. So we'll see how many we can get to. But I do want to get to some Patriot stuff here sooner rather than later. Get a break into their tape as well. That's all I got for today. Headed to practice in a bit. See you here on the YouTube channel, me and Smitty, 6 o'clock. Steelers Night Shift live here on YouTube at 8 p.m. Smitty will be joining the dear Joe Morrison for that one. When the whistle hits, you know it's Night Shift. Can't wait for another episode of that show. We're just doing great. as well. So thanks everyone for listening. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the whiteboard again. I know it always gets a lot of comments, so I know people like it. Let me know what you want to see next, and we'll see you next time.